Hello, my stars, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Basil, and today I will be reading Impact Takes Control by Rekka_77 on AO3. This is a 5-chapter fic, so it's going to be 5 parts. Now, here's the summary. Midoriya Izuku faces down Shoji Mezo. Midoriya can't use One for All, and Shoji can't use the full power of his quirk. But he still has access to his 6 arms. With all these disadvantages, how does Midoriya fight? He fights dirty, using everything he can. Chapter 1. Burst. Alright, everyone. Today, we will be doing a sparring competition without using your quirks. Aizawa sensei announced to the class as they made their way to a large open space. It has come to my attention how much training we have been doing with your quirks. It's not rational, therefore we will be doing quirkless fighting, except those with mutation quirks. Shoji, you can use all your arms, but don't change them. Shoji nodded in response, silent as ever. Eijirou, you can use your tail, and anyone else with a mutation-based quirk can use whatever limbs or whatever you get. And before you say that's unfair, Aizawa says quickly, staring at the likely culprits, Mina or Raka. Life isn't fair. If you can use it when you're using it, my quirk on you, you can use it in the competition. Alright, first match. Shoji versus Midoriya. Eijirou feels for Midoriya. He has to fight someone with nearly a foot on him and 3 times the arms. More reach, and he could do more. And Midoriya doesn't have access to the seemingly limitless power he has access to. Well, Eijirou has never seen Midoriya suffer from quirk exhaustion, unlike nearly everyone else. Boku has his sweat as a limiter, Yaoyorozu her fat reserves, and Mina gets dehydrated if she makes too much acid. Plus, she can't use some of the most powerful acid. He has his own limits. Hell, even Todoroki. Even switching sides has a limit. Sure, it's ridiculously high. During their endurance exam, Todoroki kept at it for 5.5 hours. Midoriya maxed out the time, 7 hours total. Without that, in the fighting Shoji, he's glad he's not Midoriya. When Aizawa announced who his first opponent was, a rush of energy went through his body. He could hear many of his classmates at the edge of his hearing. Oof, that's rough. And other similar comments could be heard, all seemingly resigning him to his fate. That's fine. He was used to that sort of thing. People underestimating him, thinking he couldn't do something. Hell, he had taken down titans, people whose quirks had made them huge, and he had pummeled them into the ground. So he was excited to prove Class 1A he was not someone to mess with. Fuck. He had been excited ever since Aizawa sensei announced that they were fighting without quirks. It made his blood flow faster. He could feel his heart thumping in his chest. Energy flowed through his body, forcing him to bounce on the balls of his feet. Thankfully, nobody had noticed, too captured by the fact that those with mutation-based quirks had an intent advantage in the training exercise. Boo-hoo, too bad. As a hero, you could find yourself in a situation where you're outnumbered, overpowered, every second one false step, one mistake, away from death or grievous injury. That's exciting, right? Well, maybe not for everyone. Maybe just him. Because Izuku's an adrenaline junkie. He's admitted it, openly embraced it. His favorite thing to do as Impact was, as the fight kept going, as he got better sense of his opponent, how they fought, how they moved. He would dodge by closer and closer margins, split-second decisions, and well-honed fight instinct, the only thing keeping him from being pummeled. The closest he's ever let someone get is a centimeter. Izuku had felt the wind, the disturbed air from the punch whistled by him. When the arenas weren't enough, he oftentimes found himself jumping from building to building, running along rooftops, knowing that one mistake, one misplaced foot, one jump just wasn't enough, would make him tumble quite few stories, probably causing him terrible injuries, if not mortal ones. Even after he had gotten One for All, he had continued, using his quirk sometimes to leap across streets, watching people gawk at his mighty leaps. He wore a mask that covered pretty much his entire head, and that was his entire disguise. During the summer, he often went out shirtless, feeling the wind along his body, the cooling breeze of his jumping, opposing the usual oppressive warmth. Sometimes, Eraserhead tailed him. That was even better. He didn't know if his quirk would be turned off when he wouldn't gain the strength and durability of One for All. Oh, escaping pursuit as well as avoiding Eraserhead's world-famous capture weapon. After a few months, he could effortlessly dodge the metal fiber in whatever scarf. So he let it soar by narrower and narrower margins. Hell, he even let the weapons tickle his arm hairs, sounds of glee escaping him involuntarily as it whispered by his arm. And Eraserhead was also the pro hero assigned to his case as Sabbath. How much fun! And then it turned out Eraserhead, aka Aizawa Shouta, was his homeroom teacher as well. So much of their time was spent together. How he wanted the hero to know how much. He still went out when he learned Eraserhead was his homeroom teacher. The consequences of getting caught were so much higher now that he wasn't just some anonymous teenager. He was one of the underground hero's students. He had fantasized about letting the hero catch him just to see the look on his face. Midoriya, are you ready? Aizawa asked him. He nodded in response. Of course he was ready. He dismissed all the wandering thoughts from his mind. Now it was his time to battle. He settled into an easy fighting stance, seeing Shoji do the same. Match start, called out Aizawa. The moment Aizawa finished saying start, Izuku charged forward as fast as he could. There were many ways Shoji could use his arms to his advantage. What was Izuku to do? Well, for starters, he would deny Shoji any time whatsoever to think, to form a strategy. He would close the distance between them in seconds. Shoji swiped out an arm before Izuku was close enough to retaliate. So Izuku ducked low and kicked out an offending arm. It wasn't as fast as he could go. He didn't put full force into it. Full force would most likely result in a broken arm. Izuku didn't want that. Not yet. He wanted to get in there with a quick attack, but Shoji blocked his every attempt with two arms, and every counterattack forced Izuku further away, giving the advantage firmly back into Shoji's many hands. Damn, Shoji definitely knew what he was doing, which made this even worse. He had to be at least 4 times better than his opponent to win. According to his estimate, if Shoji was an assault of fists forced Izuku out of his thoughts, forcing him to dodge every single one. He had to give it to Shoji. No one had ever given him such a challenge before. Izuku had never felt more alive. Every single sense turned up to the maximum, his heart pounding in his chest. He wasn't breathing heavily yet. So, that was so good. Despite such a drastic disadvantage, he wouldn't go down without a fight. Efficient, quick jabs with his foot, aiming for Shoji's side, trying to get a hit in there. But 3 attempts netted 3 failures. Every time there was an arm 3 there, or even 2, ready to block his kick, and even try grabbing his foot or leg. It was obvious that every move he tried, he was at a disadvantage. Every move he tried was quickly and easily countered. Damn it. He needed to do something to twist the advantage in his favor. Shoji's whatever, his arms are connected. There's a membrane that connects them together. So when Shoji went in for another attack, Izuku grabbed a section of the membrane and twisted it, pulling it in a direction it wasn't meant to go. The effect was almost immediate. Shoji pulling back, and the section of membrane Izuku had grabbed twisted and pulled, blotched an angry, swollen red. He didn't spare a second, quickly going in and landing a full-powered, not with his quirk, kick, straight into Shoji's stomach, causing the taller hero in training to almost double over. But he was still standing, and he was getting up from his kneeling position. So that told Izuku he was ready to continue. Izuku rushed forward, grabbing Shoji's head, slamming it with the multi-armed teen's head into his knee, hard, As he pulled away, Izuku felt a sharp jab of pain in his side. Then a second, then a third, and a fourth, directly on the side of his knee, harder than the rest, causing him to stumble back, rolling his ankle in the process. Damn it, he had been so focused on offense, he had forgotten to defend himself for a 6-arm assault. Pain blossomed through his body. Who knows what is going on with his left leg? His knee was fucked up and he had rolled his ankle. Fuck, this would restrict his options greatly. Well, he had fucked up, so it made sense that he would pay the price. And just like him, Shoji was continuing on the assault. His light blue mask strained darkly with blood. Izuku had probably broke a tooth or two in his mouth. Shoji's breath was still light and labored. The kick of the gut, but he continued. Izuku landed some. Shoji landed some. They both accumulated a growing list of bruises. Izuku was damn sure he had broken a few ribs. His knuckles were bloody messes, especially compared to Shoji's slightly red ones. But Izuku had landed more hits, after all. And he had the fists. Still, despite the pain throughout his body, all the things broken and bruised, he landed a punch underneath Shoji's chin, followed by a quick sidestep and then a kick to Shoji's stomach, followed by a second kick to Shoji's knee, causing the multi-armed teen to buckle. Izuku quickly went around and kicked the other one, bringing Shoji to his knees. Then Izuku slammed Shoji's face forward into the concrete below, then harshly landed on his back, causing another grunt of pain to come from Shoji's mask. Izuku straddled Shoji's back, his surprising strength keeping the larger teen pinned on the ground. After 10 seconds, Aizawa uses the same countdown as most of the arenas he fought in. He was declared the winner, and promptly fell off of the large teen. The energy of the fight left him, leaving him with only exhaustion and pain. The last thing he remembered, before falling into unconsciousness, was being carted off to Recovery Girl, Shoji, right beside him. Alright, my stars, that is the end of chapter 1. Currently I am on holiday, so this is a pre-recording I done before that. It is a little rushed because I am on a time crunch right now. But I really love this fic and I can't wait to share the rest of it with you guys. It's really great, but also the chapters are really short and quick to read, so it's much better than the last fic I read, which the chapters were quite long. But I really hope you enjoyed this one. And my Discord server and socials are in the description down below, as well as the fic link, so you can go drop kudos to the author. I always love hearing your thoughts and feelings on the fic, so you can pop them down in the comments below, as well as any recommendations you have that you'd like me to read. So I hope to see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves, drink water, eat, and don't forget to sleep. Bye, my stars.